This conference will now be recorded.
So the recording will also be available to you guys after the session, a day of next day. Okay. So if anyone miss anything, they can go through. All right, guys. So NEBOSH, I think you all are aware, it's the National Examination Board of Occupational Health and Safety, and the certification you guys are going to achieve is, for which you are studying, is International General Certificate in Occupational Health and Safety, and it's a level 3 qualification as per the UK standard in SQA, Scottish Qualification Assessment and Framework. So this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you with a qualification overview. So everyone is good and comfortable with my English?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will go through all these things: qualification key features, who is this qualification designed for, benefits for you, benefits for your employer, professional memberships you can gain after achieving this qualification, and syllabus development and review, achieving the qualification, resitting units, resitting IG1 to improve your grade, finding where to study, and qualification grading and issues. So this is all, and we will go through the syllabus also, what syllabus you are going to learn. Let me increase. All right, guys. So there are 2 units to achieve this qualification: Unit IG1, Management of Health and Safety, and Unit IG2, that is Risk Assessment. So assessment of this examination will be open book examination. Open book examination, in this you will get 24 hours. Okay, you will get 24 hours of time for your open book examination. Once your paper, you will get your paper. From that time till within next 24 hours, you have to submit your examination on the portal. The unit IG2 is practical assessment, for which also you are getting time. Okay, and you have to submit as per the instructions provided by your institution. So modes of study, there are 3 type of mode of study to to take this qualification. One is full-time block, that is classroom training, and then part-time day release. Part-time you can go to any institute, and then and one is open and distance learning, which you guys are enrolled into. So you are enrolled into open and distance learning. So qualification level and number of credits. So this qualification is SCQF level 6, equivalent to RQF level 3. So SCQF is Scottish Certification Qualification, Scottish Qualification Framework. Okay, and equivalent to its RQF. It's a European bodies, you can say. And unit IG2 one is having 5 credits, and unit IG2 is having 6 credits. So total 11 credits you are going to get. There are no entry requirements for this qualification, but a basic necessity is that you must have a good level of English. And recommended minimum standard of English, yes, levels, 6 bands in IELTS or more above. This qualification is available in English, Arabic, French, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and Turkish. But most of the people, they prefer English language. And qualification grades. The qualification grade is based on result for unit IG1. So whatever marks you are going to get in IG1, okay, that will count for grading your final result. So if you achieve more than 75 marks or higher, okay, so you are going to get a distinction on your certification. If you achieve marks between 65 to 74, you are going to get credit on your final certificate. And if you normally get 45 to 64 marks, then you will get a pass on your certification. So minimum passing marks is 45. So who is the qualification designed for? So this qualification is designed for anyone, managers, supervisors, and workers in any type of organization, It is ideal for anyone who needs a broad understanding of health and safety issues to be able to manage day-to-day risks effectively. And many people take this International General Certificate as a first step in career in health and safety. I think many of you, as I heard during the introduction session, that many of you want to enhance, right, your education level and your career. And many of you want to switch your career into health and safety. So this qualification will help you in this. Okay. And there are benefits for you, benefits for your employer. I will send this guide to you in email, so you, or in WhatsApp group, so you can go through it. So I don't want to take much time on this. And once you have this qualification, once you achieve this qualification, you pass this qualification, you can apply for memberships also, memberships with international bodies like IOSH, which is most recognized at this time, Institution of Occupational Safety and Health. So you can join IOSH as a technical member, and after getting this membership, you can apply for Tech IOSH, technical member of IOSH. And you can use this Tech IOSH post nominals after your name also. So you have to pay for this. There is some fees for to get these professional memberships. And this syllabus is developed and reviewed by these agencies: Qatar Street, the FA Group, Travis Perkins, UAE Ministry of Education, and Unite the Union. So these all agencies are also involved during the development of syllabus for this qualification. So achieving this qualification, again, to achieve this qualification, you have to pass both the units. Okay, you have to pass both the units, IG1 and IG2. Then only you will get your certificate. Otherwise, even if you pass one IG1 and other one you refer, then you will not get your certification. And this qualification you can complete in 5 years of time. You will get 5 years of time to complete this certification. After that, you have to register again for this qualification. So I will share this guide with you. This is again distinction and syllabus. Let's go through syllabus. So there are total 11 elements for this certification. As I told you, the units are divided into IG1 and IG2. So for unit 1, that is IG1, there are 4 elements, and for unit 2, that is IG2, there are 7 elements. So 7 elements. Okay. So first 4 are based on your management. You can say management and health and safety management systems. Okay, and your scenario-based scenario-based OBE open book examination will be based on these 4 units only. Okay, and your practical assessment, that is unit IG2 risk assessment, that will be based on completely on these 7 elements and some parts of elements 1.1, 1.2 and 3.4. So the first element is why we should manage workplace health and safety, and element 2 is how health and safety management system works and what they look like. Element 3 is managing risk, understanding people and processes. Element 4 is health and safety monitoring and measuring. And element 5 is, as it's practical assessment. So all practical, like whatever you perform in your workplace, that all will reflect in these units. So physical and psychological health, musculoskeletal health, chemical and biological agents, general workplace issues, work environment, equipment, fire and electricity. So these will be part of your IG2 unit. So these are some briefing about the syllabus. Okay, learning outcomes, assessment criteria and assessment. So from here you can get an idea that for your open book examination, this unit is must. For practical also, this element is must. So I will share this guide in group, okay, and you can go through it. I hope syllabus and introduction part is clear to everyone? Any queries till now? Anybody is having any query till now? Any questions about the qualification?
Everything is clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Omar. All right. So now let's go through the pattern of your examination, how Unit 1 and Unit 2 will come. I think all of you are aware that Unit 1, IG1 is scenario based, right? Everyone is very happy when it was introduced, that open book examination and it's going to be easy. Some said it's difficult, some said this, some said that, right? So this is the sample paper, how you are going to get your question paper, you can say. This is a sample provided by NEBOSH, and this is taken from NEBOSH website. So this is how, when on the day of examination, when you will log in, so this is what appears on your screen. Okay, this is what you have to download. So this is Unit IG1, Management of International Health and Safety. This will be your question paper, same like this. Open book examination, date, your examination 1st December, like that. There will be a small guidance to you guys. You have to go through it and you will get a scenario. This is how your scenario will be. So you will be provided with a scenario like this. There will be a full story. You are a newly appointed health and safety advisor for a construction company. You work in the head office, like this. Entire scenario will be provided to you guys. You have to go through entire scenario. Okay, I will share this also in the group. You can go through it. This I'm showing you this for your, just to introduce you guys to the how the examination pattern will be. So this will be the 1 or 2 page scenario which will be provided to you guys, and you have to go through it, and on basis of this scenario and on the basis of what you have studied, first 4 elements, you have to answer the questions asked to you. So questions will be like this, like task wise, task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5, like this. Questions will be asked. For example, task 1 is discussing moral reasons for managing health and safety. Okay, so by this you will come to know that which section or which element they are talking about, and after that your question will become, you have been asked to chair the health and safety committee meeting. Before the meeting, you decide that you will open the meeting by reminding everyone of moral expectations of health and safety. So prepare notes of the moral argument you will use at the meeting. So like these questions will be asked to you, and you have to answer these questions on base of scenario or from the book. See, there is a very special note. You should support your answer where applicable using relevant information from the scenario. So you can use information from scenario and you can use information from book or other resources to answer this, but you cannot copy paste. You have to apply your own knowledge. And there will be questions, some questions where they will ask like this: safety culture. Based on the scenario only, comment on the current health and safety culture in the company. So based on the scenario means from the scenario only you have to answer. Okay, so like these questions will be there in your examination on the day of your examination. So this is how your paper 1 will come. Okay, this is a sample question paper. Now we have IG1, and now let's go to IG2. This is again a sample provided by NEBOSH for learners. So this is IG2 is risk assessment. Okay, so you have to prepare a practical risk assessment of your organization, or you can go to some other company to prepare your report. So in IG2 report, every guidance is provided, okay, and you just have to go through it. We will completely discuss this on a later stage once we complete IG1. After that, we will discuss about report in depth. Okay, so there will be 4 parts. Part 1, background of the organization. So you have to provide organization name, site location, number of workers, general description of organization, and description of the area to be included in the risk assessment, which area you choose for risk assessment, and any other relevant information you have to provide it. Okay, after that, outline how the risk assessment was carried out. So how you carried out the risk assessment when you went to that area, so that information you have to provide in this section. Okay, and like sources of information you consulted, who you spoke to, and how you identify the hazards, what was already done to control those hazards, and what additional control actions are required to control the hazards which you have observed during your risk assessment. So like this. Part 2 will be completely risk assessment. So how many of you have gone through your company risk assessments, or you guys participate in any risk assessment tasks in your organization?
Yeah, we participate, sir. We have done recently ISO 45001.
Oh, great. So that is a big achievement. So you guys got that certification?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Omar, Moed, Al-Khamas, you guys participate in risk assessments?
There we take this course to identify the risk assessment in our plants.
Sorry, come again?
We take this course to identify the risk assessment in this plant.
Okay. So in the risk assessment part, there will be organization name, date of assessment, scope of assessment. Okay. So there will be 6 sections provided to you to complete the risk assessment. First will be hazard category and what hazard you have identified, who might be harmed and how from that hazard. Okay. And what are you already doing that you have to provide, and what further control actions are required, you have to provide that, and time scales for further actions to be completed, and responsible person's job title, who will be responsible to implement these controls or to take action on these controls. So like this, you have to minimum identify 10 hazards. Okay, so 10 hazards minimum you have to identify, but everywhere it's preferred that you write around 11 to 12 hazards. You can write 1 or 2 extra hazards also. And like for each category, for example, working at height, you can only write 2 hazards for working at height, not more than 2. For example, fire, only 2 you can write, not more than 2. For confined space, you can write only 2, not more than 2. Noise, vibration, environment, you can not write more than 2 similar hazards. Work equipment, electricity, hazardous substances. Okay. And after doing the risk assessment, after identifying and completing this section, there will be part 3. So from above risk assessment, you have to provide justification why this risk assessment is done. Okay, so you have to provide moral, legal, and financial arguments. You will study all these in your syllabus. Okay, so you have to write it there in these sections. After that, you have to pick any 3 hazards, okay, which are at very high risk hazards you have to identify, and you have to take the action. You have to write specific legal arguments, likelihood and severity, only for 3 hazards. Okay, any 3 hazards you can identify, and you have to write down justification for these 3 actions. Part 4 will be review, communicate, and check. So you have to provide the company with planned review date, period with reasoning, okay, and how the risk assessment findings will be communicated, because you have already completed the risk assessment. So how you are going to communicate findings okay, and whom you are going to communicate. In this section, you have to provide details of that. And the last section will be how you will follow up on the risk assessment to check that the actions have been carried out. So the action, additional control measures you have provided in your risk assessment, how you are going to follow up for these. Okay. So this is how you have to prepare the report. I will share both of these in a WhatsApp group so you can go through them in your free time. Any questions till now about IG1, IG2, or any questions, any queries till now? Anyone, any queries?
Yes, sir. I have one question, please.
Yes, please tell me, Mr. Umar.
How many days we can take this course?
How many days? It will last, at least classes will last for IG1. It will take around maximum to maximum, I can say 10 days for IG1.
Okay, and same times from 5 to 7?
I mean, see, you all are from one region. All the students here in this group are from Saudi Arabia. Okay. So
Okay.
if you guys want to shift it to some other time, so you guys can discuss with each other here only. So if you have any preferred timings, you can tell me. So we will check if we can work on these timings.
No, I'm just asking. Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. So this is fine for everyone, right? This timing.
I think it will be more better if you have it at 6 p.m. to 8. It is 2 hours, right?
Yeah, we can say like 90 minutes class we have started.
So I think if it is good for everybody, I'm just throwing a suggestion here. I'm not saying we have it, but I think it's 6 o'clock will be more better because we have a prayer time at 5 o'clock.
So 5 o'clock is your prayer time, right?
Yeah, 5 and 7.
5 and 7. So what we are going to do is we are going to start this class. 5:30 will be fine.
But the other, we are okay. Yeah, we can go ahead with 5.
Yes, I am with Mr. Hamas. 5:30 is better.
5:30. Okay.
So everyone is 5 with 5:30, right?
Yeah, Shabab, other people, is it okay with you?
Yes, for me
Yes,
it's
yes,
okay,
yes.
Mr. Hamas.
I think yes. We will go.
All right, fine. Mr. Niyat, you are fine with 5:30?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, great. No issues. From tomorrow, we will shift the class timing to 5:30. Okay? Great.
Okay.
It's for 2 hours only?
Yes, yes, yes. This class is for 2 hours only.
Okay, Kabir.
All right. So unit IGC1, this is element 1. We are going to start today. Okay. And we will go through element 1 basics and we will try to cover up as much as we can. So element 1 is why we should manage workplace health and safety. Okay. This is your element 1, why we should manage workplace health and safety. As you all are working in industries at the moment, so you guys every time you guys must be engaging with health and safety. There will be accidents, incidents in your organizations, so that is why health and safety is there. So why we should manage, so we will learn about this today. So learning outcomes for this unit will be, so what you are going to learn in this element is we will discuss the moral, financial and legal reasons for managing health and safety in the workplace, explain how health and safety is regulated and the consequences of non-compliance with health and safety, summarize the health and safety duties of different groups of people at work, and explain how contractors should be selected, monitored, and managed. So these 4 things you are going to study in this element. So multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is a word which says that multidisciplines like different disciplines. For example, health and safety is a discipline. After that, engineering is a discipline, administration is a discipline, you can say mechanical is a other discipline, right? So let's study about this. Occupational health and safety is a multidisciplinary field concerned with the safety, health, and welfare of people at work. So if you are going to become a health and safety professional, or if you are already a practitioner, so as a health and safety professional, officer, advisor, you have to be familiar with different disciplines. For example, you must be familiar with chemistry, physics, biology, right? Because there are chemical agents, there are biological agents which workers or organizations use in their organization, right? Then engineering, everywhere engineering is there, right? Mechanical, civil, electrical. Then psychology, different behaviors when you consult people. Sociology, you have different culture of people working in the organization from India, Bangladesh, from Europe, everywhere, right? So different people have different cultures, value systems, right? And then there are legislations which you have to be familiar with, right? There is ISO 45001 standards that apply on the organization. There are local approved code of practices which you have to follow. There are local guidelines. There are ILO, International Labour Organization guidelines. There are OSHA regulations. So a safety officer must be familiar with all these things and strengths and weakness of the laws and regulations. So if you are pursuing this course, you must be familiar with all of these things to become a good safety officer, to become a good safety manager, to become a good safety engineer. So let's go through some basic definitions. So this certification is health and safety, right? So let's go through occupational health or health. So what is health? It is absence of ill health. If there is no ill health, if nobody is sick, it means he's having a good health, right? In occupational, I'm talking in term of occupational health. So the protection of the bodies and minds of people from illness resulting from the materials, processes, or procedures used in the workplace is health. So the term health can be defined as a state of well-being in both a psychological and physiological sense. So if a person is psychologically, mentally he is well, and physiological, his body is well, so you can define him as that he's a healthy person, right? He's not having any psychological issues, and he's not physically, he is good, right? But there are some examples which we can use to protection of health. For example, absence of toxic chemicals at workplace, so no chances of fatality. If there are many people, many organizations who use toxic chemicals at workplace, right? So toxic chemical mean that it's going to be a hazardous you can say product on the site, which will be having some risk to the health. So if there is no toxic chemical used by organization at workplace, it means you guys have eliminated the chances of fatality. So the health is not going to affect by any way at the site. Safety. What is safety? I just want to know your views. Apart from definition, I just want to know your opinions. So what is safety according to you? You all are, I think, well experienced in the industry. even if you guys are not safety officers or you are working in other department, I just want to know your opinions. So what is safety according to our candidates? Anyone who want to explain this? What is safety according to you guys in your own words? Mr. Niyat, Omar, Mr. Mohit, anyone want to explain? Because you are here for a safety certification, right? So I just want to know your opinion. What exactly safety is in your perception? Anything, I mean, anything.
It's basically a place where there is no risk of no accidents may occur or anything like this.
Yes, good. Anyone
That's
else who is
basic
having?
definition.
Sorry. Great. Anyone who want to speak about safety? What safety is? This is just to be interactive. I just want to know what exactly everyone thinks. Mr. Niyat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Safety is free from the hazards and the risk and provide the workplace area for the people to free from the hazards, accident, incident. So free from that any kind of unlikely harms and protect from the property. That's it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
When I studied, NEBOSH at my time in 2007, and someone asked me that what is safety. I'm just telling my opinion. I just gave a very small definition. I don't know how it came to my mind, and I just said that it is well-being of people. Safety is well-being of people. You can relate it to well-being of people. Why well-being? That if there is safe conditions, if there is safe practices, if there is absence of risk, you can say, right? If everything is going according to a common sense, that we are working towards well-being of people, right? Then only we can make sure that people are well and safe. So safety is absence of risk, accident, and protection of people from physical injuries. Even you can relate it to mental also. So the term safety can be defined as the absence of danger or physical harm to persons extending in the workplace to things such as equipment, materials, and structures. So we have few examples here. The absence of hazards. If there is no hazard such as fire, electricity, plant and machinery, noise, vibration, etc., it means it's a safe environment or it's a safe condition, right? So protection from physical injury, like guards on machinery, proper guarding on machines, lockout tagout systems implemented for electrical panels, etc., right? So these are few examples how you can make safety implemented, or how you can say, right, absent the risk of accidents, how you can eliminate, reduce the risk of accidents. Welfare. So the provision of accessibility of the basic facilities to maintain the health and well-being of individuals at the workplace. So welfare relates to the provision of workplace facilities that maintain the basic well-being of comfort of the workers, such as their eating areas, washing areas, toilet facilities, which will enable them to fulfill their bodily functions. So these are the few basic welfare requirements that are required in the workplace. These are drinking water facilities for workers, staff, employees, whoever is visitors, sanitary conveniences for staff and workers, washing facilities, changing rooms, accommodation for clothing, rest and eating facilities. So these are the minimum welfare requirements which are required at any workplace. I hope in Saudi Aramco, they are maintaining a very good standard, right, for welfare of people.
Of course.
Yeah, great. I had experience with RASCAS. They are also very, strict on welfare requirements of people. So environmental protection. This is again a very, this comes as a responsibility of each and every individual and organizations and everyone, because we know what is happening today. We all are facing some environmental related issues around the world, right? So environmental protection may be defined as a measure used to prevent harm to the environment of the world. So it prevents harm to air, water, land, and natural resources, providing protection to flora and fauna and human beings and their interrelationships. Because if environment will get damaged or it will get polluted, who is going to suffer? Human beings. We human beings who are living here on the earth, right? We are going to suffer. We are going to face its drawbacks or its actions. So the protection of animals, plant life, water, land, and air quality, flora and fauna, their interrelationship through the process noise restrictions, prevention and protection of the environment by providing. So in workplace, what you can do? By providing bonded diesel tanks, spillage control procedures, and waste disposal procedures. So these are the means by which you can prevent or protect environmental related issues. For example, if you have diesel, petrol, or liquid items at your workplace, at your work sites, so it's responsibility of the employer and the responsible persons to make sure that these not get involved with environment. So what happens? Spills, if any spill happens, it will go into the waters, right? Underground waters only. So who is going to drink that water later on? Human beings. We human beings are going to suffer. So barriers to promoting good standards of health and safety. Every organization, big organizations, for example, Saudi Aramco, or like Mr. Niyat just said that, we have recently implemented ISO 45001 in our organization. But in what is happening is that your organizations and your companies, they are committed to implement health and safety, but there are a lot of organizations around the world which doesn't promote health and safety standards, right? So what are the barriers, you can say? What are the barriers coming to promote good standards of health and safety? We will go through it one by one, because if you will understand the barriers, then only you will come to know that how you can promote and why it's required to promote. So first barrier is complexity of the workplace. So problem involving the coordination of different workers. This is one of the barrier you will see when you promote good health and safety standard in the workplace. So there is no coordination between workers and teams, right? This is the one barrier you can say. Then carrying variety of work activities in the workplace. So if you have a small workplace or a workplace where different work activities are going on, so that will again become a barrier for promoting good standard of health and safety. Then issue of requiring extensive background knowledge. Then courses of action to be taken. So these are the complexity of the workplace barriers which comes in promotion of good health and safety standards. Then conflicting demands. In conflicting demands, there are barriers like time scales. Sometimes I'm not talking about oil and gas industry, because there everything is fixed, right? Almost in plants. But if you go to different projects, like especially in construction, there are strict time scales, right? And once, according to the demand, the company, if any company, they will get a project. Okay, so what happens? They will get time scales also. Now, what organizations do, they will take it as a barrier in promoting health and safety. Once safety officer, safety manager, they go to the management, they ask that we require we need to provide proper training, induction trainings, toolbox talks. They will say, oh, we don't have time, we already have time scale to complete this project, right? So you just so they want to show safety as a visible kind of thing only. So timescales plays a very vast and big role in as a barrier. After that, standards. There are a lot of standards, different standards of health and safety. So what companies they do, they don't want to follow those standards. They don't want to get into these standards and all. So that they take it as a barrier only. Budgets is a big problem. Organization, they take projects and they don't want to spend on health and safety. That is again a barrier. Then there is a lot of competition between similar organization. Okay, that is again a barrier. Why? Because if one company is getting good number of projects, they are completing them on good time scales with all the standards, budget. Other company which is not implementing health and safety and not following standards, but they just want to compete. They just want to complete the projects in time. Again, timeline will be there, right? So what they will do, they will bypass safety. They will say, no, we have to complete the project. I don't care about health and safety. I just want my work to be get done in time. That is again. Then industry leads to quoting low cost. Some organization, what they do, they want to take the project and they quote low, right? So there will be no budget for health and safety also. Again, when you will start the project, you will face difficulties in finance and health and safety will be again bypassed. Then negligence and ignorance. Some companies, some organizations, they simply ignore health and safety. They neglect health and safety. They have attitude like that they don't want health and safety until any major accident or fatality happens. And once there will be action from enforcement authorities, then only they implement health and safety. Then behavioral issues. As I said, that there are different people working in different organizations, right? So you have different nationalities, different people with different mindsets for health and safety, especially in Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Oman, you can say Bahrain, UAE, Qatar. Lot of Southeast Asian country workers, European people, they come there to work, Americans, right? They all have behavioral issues, right? Some they are very you can say they are very keen to implement health and safety, but others they just simply ignore. For example, Koreans, they don't care about health and safety. They simply want to do their tasks. That's it. But Europeans, if you see, or Americans, you see, they want everyone to follow health and safety. They care about human health and human life. So that is how. Everyone clear? Barriers? Or anyone is having any question, queries?
Yes, very clear. Thank you.
Okay. If it's clear, let's go through a practice question. Okay. So you just guys have to give me any one or two things, okay? Answers. So what are the potential barriers to achieving good standards of health and safety? Mr. Niyat, what are the potential barriers to achieving good standards of health and safety?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Yeah, which we have to discuss, sir, in that the last previous now. That same for that time scale and the budget, the complexity, then for the standards, then for the next for the competition between the similar and organizations. That's in the barriers and between the worker for the communication skill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now the second question we have is, what possible reasons why good standards of health and safety in the workplace might not be achieved? So, Mr. Omar, you want to answer this? Or anyone? What possible reasons are there why good standards of health and safety in the workplace might not be achieved?
The good standard is will save the people life. Yeah, most of the standards it have been written by people blood. Whenever we have a good standard, we will have a good procedures, we will have a good isolation, we will have a good environmental workplace.
Good. So you can say there will be a safe environment if you have good procedures, good written procedures.
Right.
Great. Thank you very much. So this is again see why I have asked this question. Like first is what are the potential barriers, and second one, these both are similar questions. Okay, this is just to let you know that answer will be same, but questions may come in different forms. Okay, so you have to be very careful. You have to read your questions very carefully. Now you read this both questions sorry, excuse me, and answer will be same. Answer will be same, but question is different, right? So whenever just to avoid any confusion during your examination, also in your examination and in your general life, in your general workplace, different people with different perceptions, different mindset, right? So read your questions very carefully, then only you have to answer. The answer will be similar, questions may be different, but what examiner is asking or what is actually asked, you have to write that only. Okay. So I'm going to give you a 5 minutes of break, 2 minutes of break. Okay, and we will start element 1.1 after that. So it's just a 2 minutes, 3 minutes break. Okay, so after that I'm coming. All right, guys. So welcome again. And so we are going to start element 1.1, that is morals and money. So I will tell you one thing special about this element. See, in NEBOSH, at least one question you can expect from this element. Okay, either moral, legal, or financial. Okay, this is just for your information that how important this element is. Okay, and it will give you a good knowledge about moral issues, legal issues, and financial issues. So let's start morals and money. So in this element, you are going to learn moral expectations of good standard of health and safety and the financial cost of incidents and insured and uninsured costs. So there are reasons for maintaining good standard of health and safety in the workplace, right? So what are these reasons? So there are three basic reasons to maintain good standard of health and safety in the workplace. So first reason is moral reason. Okay, so what is moral reason? That is ethical and responsible behavior of an individual or of organization. After that, legal reason. So that is legal reason is, by law, criminal or civil liability, you can say. After that, financial reason, economical reason, the cost of accident and ill health. So these are the three basic reasons: moral, legal, and financial. These are the reasons for maintaining good standard of health and safety in the workplace or in the organization or in the company. So the three key reasons to manage safety is, first, again, as we have discussed, moral, financial, legal. So in moral reason, a poor safety and health, what exactly it is? Okay, moral. So a poor safety and health record could affect reputation, right? If you have a poor health and safety record, it will affect the reputation of company or of organization. So employers, the organization who hired you for work, who have employed you for work, they owe a duty of reasonable care to workers. It's their duty to provide reasonable care to the workers, their families, society, and the environment as a condition of employment. Because every person who go to work, they want to earn money to feed their family, to take care of society, to take care of their families, right? So they don't go there to organization on work to risk their lives, to get, to harm their lives. So that's why health and safety must be a condition of employment. So worker does not expect to risk his or her physical and mental health as a condition of employment. So what society expects? Okay, what is society? Society, we all people, right? A group of people, or a civil life. So society expects every employer to demonstrate a reasonable attitude towards the safety and health of their workforce and the surrounding area. So in addition, employers also have a moral and ethical obligation to protect other people, such as contractors or member of the public, whose safety and health may be affected by their undertaking. So in basic, if we go, that it's the complete duty of an employer or organization to prevent, protect employees from any harm or any accident, any incident, or any kind of mental health. It's their duty to prevent or protect workers from it. Morally, ethically, not by force. Okay. Now the second reason is financial reason. If anyone who is not, following morally, they don't want to implement health and safety on moral grounds, on ethical grounds. So what financial reason is there? So what happens? Poor safety and health practices can lead to accident and ill health. Of course, if you have a poor culture in your organization, one day it will lead to a accident and ill health, right? So the ILO, International Labour Organization, estimates that workplace injuries and ill health cost around 4% of GDP, global gross domestic product, each year. Can you imagine? World 4% of world's money is getting affected by accidents on workplace. So worldwide, there are organizations prosecuted for safety and health failings. Nowadays, even managers, employers, they are also getting fines and other health and safety obligations on them if they are not managing health and safety. So what is happening? This will be having a financial impact on the organizations, and legal reasons are there. So meeting the requirements of the law should be the very minimum that a company should set out to achieve, and a company that manages safety and health just because the law says so is missing out on the many opportunities that come with trying to do more than just meet minimum legal standards. So legal reason is there. If every country, they have their own legal system, right? And enforcement authorities, you can say, if employers, organizations don't follow health and safety, these legal standards or legal laws, they enforce to implement health and safety. So may I know what are the legal standards in Saudi Arabia for health and safety? Anyone can explain this, that what are the health and safety standards in Saudi Arabia, legal laws? In case if any employer, he doesn't follow health and safety, okay, or they are bypassing safety, and so who will come for inspection, or whom workers or other people can call if health and safety is not properly managed in the organization? Is there any specific body for that in Saudi Arabia? Anyone? Mr. Mohit?
Hello. Yeah, hello,
Yes.
hello, sir. Yeah, sir,
Yes.
there have the civil defense and modern for the industrial, all the industrial activities under modern and other things. They have to, the GOSI will have to know registered all the employee under the GOSI. If there in any incident, the record in the government portal showing the reputation of the company, and their agency are into monitoring GOSI and civil defense modern and the PME for environmental activities. They have to time to come to inspect all the industry. Then they have to implement their system or not. If they have no implement, they can have to enforcement.
Okay, so there are approved, code of practices also.
Yeah, there is have approved.
Okay. So they can take action also on the organizations, right? If they fail to implement, and if they see that health and safety standards or approved code of practices are not properly implemented, so take actions.
They take action. Of course, because the GOSI portal there is showing that the employee record and everything. So if there is any accident, major things else, they immediately come to inspect their factory. They have to follow the safety culture or not. They have to safety engineer on whatever they have to follow the documents, whatever the requirement according to safety. They are checking everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And what about Saudi Aramco? Is there any, they fall under any Saudi authorities, or they have their own system? Mr. Omar, Mr. Al-Khamas, Mr. Mohit, anyone can explain about what kind of legal standards you guys are following there?
Yes, mister, we have general instruction for the safety. we get it from the specific safety employee in Saudi Aramco, and we have to follow the rules to protect ourselves from major incidents.
No, I mean any baldia which come and inspect your company like that.
No, I don't have any idea about this because I'm the operator, not an environment or safety employee.
Okay, okay. So there are, local government people from baldia, you can say, or from municipality, or from, as Mr. Niyat said, there are different. Just hold on, guys. There is some disturbance. So there are a lot of, local government authorities which come to inspect the company, factories, plants, sites. So they are the legal. We will study about that also. So moral expectation of good health and safety. As per global statistics, okay, as per global statistics from the International Labour Organization, Safe Work Program, according to them, 374 million accidents and 160 million disease a year happens due to work. Can you imagine? 374 million accidents and 160 million disease a year around the world happens during work or due to work. 2.7 million fatalities, deaths happens in a year, and 4% of global GDP is lost due to these accidents every year. 3,55,000 on the job fatalities happen each year on the workplaces. These are the data from International Labour Organization. So can you imagine how many people, how many lives we lose every year on the job? It's a huge number, you can say. I think due to Corona, COVID-19, this much people has not died. But every year, due to on the job fatalities, this much of people they die. So this should be a moral, there should be a moral, expectation of good health and safety from employers. So moral expectation, what are the reasons for moral expectation? So moral expectation is based on humanitarian ground. If employer thinks on humanitarian ground, so what he should think, that any employee who is coming to work for me, I will not get him harmed, okay, in any way due to the work activities, due to any plant or machinery, due to any process. Okay, so this is the moral reason why they have to manage health and safety in the workplace. And it is an ethical way to provide good health and safety, right? Moral is an ethical way. Yes, I want to be, I want everyone on my work site to be safe. As an employer, I want, right? That should be come from your heart, from your mind, that if I'm hiring people for work, I will, so they should not get harmed by any way. Now, moral obligation not to cause harm to others. Moral reason is the right way to do the things rightly. And when health and safety is not managed properly, people get killed and suffered from injuries. And who will affect? Their families, friends, colleagues, dependents, right? Sorry, excuse me. So morally, you have to think about their families, okay, their friends, colleagues. If anything goes wrong with any worker on the site and he died during the work, who is going to take care of their family? Employer? No. Who is going to feed his family? Employer? No. They will just give some money, blood money or something, but by this money he cannot survive, his family cannot survive for entire life, right? So who will take their care? That we should, as an employer or as an organization, they must think about this, okay? And this is again a reason why health and safety should be managed at the workplace. The moral reason is free from any occupational accident and disease at the workplace to all workers. so that everyone returning home happily in healthy condition. And moral justification for moral is that value of human life. It is very precious, obviously. Human life is very precious. And it is the right to live safe, right attitude of employer towards health and safety, and manifesting high principles and standards of health and safety. It is an upright approach, universally preventive, and deep sense of commitment by employer that no one should hurt during work at the site or in the plant. And the moral reason is free from any occupational accident, disease at the workplace to all workers, so that everyone returning home happily. That should be the main motto of the employer and organization, that no one get harmed and everyone is returning their home happily in healthy condition. Now, legal reasons. As you know, law is very important because people, organization, right, money-minded business do not follow the rule of law and want to have chows, maximum profit on others' life. There are organizations who just want profit. They don't care about human life. If someone dies, no problem. I don't want my work to get stopped. There are organizations. So what happens? Law protect our general safety. If there are good standards by law on health and safety, what will happen? These laws will protect our general safety and ensure our rights as a citizens against abuses by other people, by organizations and the government itself. So the legal reasons concerning the employer's duty of care in criminal and civil law. Now, criminal law is and civil law, they both are different. Okay. Legal enforcement indicate the legal consequences resulting from breaches in health and safety law and responsibilities of the employer to implement at the workplace for ensuring safety at workplace. Now, legal reasons, legal laws are there, civil and criminal law. Under civil law, as I told that there are two types of laws, civil and criminal law. So there are two types of laws, okay, legal laws. One is civil law and other one is criminal law. So when anyone, do any crime, okay, for example, a fight in your plant or a fight in your site, that will fall under criminal law. But if any accident happens at your site and worker in future he's want to seek any compensation from the employer, so that falls under civil law. Okay, so any criminal thing will go under criminal law, and anything which is related to employer or which is related to compensation or which is related to accidents on the site for that compensation, these all fall under any disputes between employer and employees, that all falls under civil law. So why health and safety to be managed? For legal reasons. First is legal laws, because there are civil laws and criminal laws. If employer will not follow these laws, what will happen? They will get prosecuted or they will get fines or there will be legal obligations. So that's why they have to manage health and safety. Second reason is that prosecution by enforcement agencies if breach of law. If employer will not follow health and safety and he breached the law, he will be prosecuted. Now there are acts, Health and Safety at Work Act, okay, and see, these are international laws, UK related laws. So there are Saudi Arabia local laws also, which acts, which implements, okay. So according to these laws, there are provisions of taking action against the employer or organization. And then there are ILO, International Labour Organization, conventions and recommendations, okay, which is implemented. So all the laws of local countries, they are based on ILO conventions and recommendations. After that, statutory guidelines and requirements and national laws and local laws. So these all are the legal reasons why health and safety to be managed in the workplace legally. Okay. Third is financial reason for managing health and safety. So any accident or incident of ill health will affect the financial resources. And due to major accidents, organization get closed because of heavy losses incurred. For example, if fire occurred in occur in a refinery or in the plant or in the factory, what will happen? Fire will burn everything, huge losses, and later on what will happen if no insurance, or even if there is insurance, you cannot build the entire organization again, right? So what will happen? Organization will get closed. Okay, so accidents damages its market value. If an organization is not managing health and safety properly, there are accidents every month, major accidents. So what will happen? If you are going to get any tender from any client, they will see your market value. Oh, this organization doesn't have a good reputation, right? Every time accident, every month accidents are happening in this organization. They have very poor health and safety culture. So they will not give you projects, right? So accidents damage market values and can make the organization out of business within no time. The financial reasons for managing health and safety, again, accident and ill health cost money. If there is any accident, there will be money involved, financial or finance involved, because whenever accident happens, you have to send the person to the hospital. For that, company needs money, right? If any ill health or any disease occur to any worker, what will happen? You have to send him to hospital. In that, you have to pay money. So that is financial reason. So cost, any cost which is involved in the accident, okay, that is differentiated between two costs, that is direct cost and indirect cost. So accident, whenever accident happens, finance is involved, but this finance, this money, this cost is divided into two categories, direct and indirect cost. So there are two types of cost involved in the accident. You have to understand there are two types of costs involved in any accident. If any accident happened in your organization, there are two costs involved. One is direct cost, other one is indirect cost. Now direct cost is measurable cost arising directly from accidents, and indirect costs arise as a consequence of the event but may not directly involve money, often difficult to quantify. So direct cost is easy to quantify, but indirect cost is not easy to quantify. So we will understand the difference between direct and indirect cost. So the cost to any organization, just hold on. All right. Okay, so the cost to an organization which can be directly quantified or measured from the incident or accident is known as direct cost. And the cost to an organization which cannot be immediately quantified or measured from the incident or accident is known as indirect cost. So there are examples of direct cost and indirect cost. So let's go through them one by one. So example of direct cost, if any accident happens in your company, okay, for example, you are at workplace and an accident happened. Now you want to understand that what are the costs involved in these accident. Okay, what are the losses or cost you are going to get for this accident. So if you are going to measure or you are going to identify direct cost, what direct cost will be there? Fines in the criminal courts. If accident will happen, police will come, okay, or enforcement authority will come, right, and they will take action on you. Why accident happened, what happened, so many things. And if you found guilty, what will happen? You will get fined in the court. Court will put fine on the company. So that is direct cost. You know accident happened and now you will get fined. Worker sick pay. The worker who got injured, if he's not coming on work, you are not getting any production, right? But you have to pay to that worker. So that is again a cost, direct cost. Now treatment, first aid or medical treatment of the worker. When accident happen, you have to send that worker to hospital for treatment, right? You have to provide him first aid treatment, everything. What will happen? You will get cost, right? For this is not free. So company has to pay again money for the worker medical treatment and first aid treatment. Again, a direct cost. This is a direct cost. You can easily identify this, right? That after accident, these are the cost you are going to get. Lost or damaged product. If during the accident any product got damaged or there is any damage in the production or anything which got damaged, okay, that is again a cost. Then lost production time while dealing with the injury. If any accident, big accident happened, you have to stop your production or you have to stop the work, right? So your production time will be lost. That is again going to cost you in a direct way. After that, repairs or replacement of damaged equipment and building. If anything gets damaged, you have to repair it or you have to replace it. For that, again, cost is involved. So that will be a direct cost. And overtime to make up the lost time. So when due to the accident, you have lost full day, next day, what will you do? You will give people overtime to make up with the lost time. So again, you have to pay extra money. So these are the direct cost which you can identify if any accident happens. So you can directly identify these things, right? That you may get fine, you have to pay to worker for medical treatment, you have to pay him sick pay, the product which got damaged, that is a cost. Then production loss, after that repair or replacement of machine or equipment, and overtime to workers. Sorry. So these are the costs you can directly identify. But there are indirect costs also for the accident, which generally people don't count. They think that only these direct costs are enough, but there are huge losses companies are getting for when they identify indirect cost. Loss of staff from productive duties. So when accident will happen, there are a lot of staff, they will get involved in the accident. For example, for investigation, police will come, they will ask production manager, they will ask supervisor, they will ask safety officer, safety manager, how this accident happened. So what will happen? Lot of time it will consume, right? So these are indirect costs which will affect the production. Now reduction in staff morale. If accident will happen, there are a lot of people who talk, right? They will say, okay, every time accident is happening in this company, maybe one day we also get involved in the accident. So their morale will be low. Before work, they will, keep on thinking about their safety. No, I don't have to hurry. I have to work slow, like that. Then cost of recruiting and training. If any worker, if the workers got injured, or you have a special supervisor, or you have operator who got injured during the accident, so you have to recruit again new operator, and you have to train him again, right? So that will also involve cost. And the major indirect cost is loss of goodwill. If accident will happen, other companies, your client, they will also hear about the accident, right? So your goodwill will be loss, and in future you will not be able to get projects from same clients. And damage to industrial relations, when your production will be delayed, you are not able to provide products on time and time scales. So what will happen? Your industrial relations will start getting damaged because you are not able to fulfill the requirements. So these are the indirect costs which are involved in the accidents. Now, type of cost involved. See, many of I'm awareing you guys that many of students, they get confused between direct cost, indirect cost, and insured and uninsured cost. Okay, so you don't have to get confused between direct cost, indirect cost, and insured cost and uninsured cost, because direct and indirect cost is something which is related to accident to measure the cost. Okay, but insured and uninsured cost is to identify that which cost is covered under insurance and which cost is not covered under insurance. Okay, so you can see an accident iceberg. Generally what happens, company, they think that we have insurance. Okay, excuse me. So companies, they think that we have insurance. Okay, and they make their mind free that even if accident happens, we are not going to any cost. But if you see the accident iceberg, companies, they think that this iceberg, okay, this is insured, we are insured, but there are many costs, other costs which are not covered under insurance. You can see there are a lot of costs which are not insured under insurance. For example, if accident happens in your organization, what insurance is going to cover? The injured person, his medical, his ill health, and damage to product, right? This is what insurance will cover, right? But there are a lot of uninsured costs which insurance will not cover. For example, product and material damage. If company is producing a material, when material is under production, it is not insured, right? Once it will get wrapped and go out of the company to the supplier, then only it will covered under insurance, right? So any product or material damage during production, that is uninsured cost. Any legal cost, insurance will not cover any legal cost. For example, if you hire a lawyer, or you have any fine from court, that insurance is not going to pay. Employer has to pay it from his pocket, right? Emergency supplies. For example, if you call any private fire tender, or if you call any private emergency supplies in case of fire, or in case of, even if you call any private ambulance, insurance is not going to cover it, right? Cleaning up the site. For example, if you are working in a plant where there is a big spill, oil spill, okay, and if equipment get damaged, insurance will cover, right? But what about the cleaning up of that oil? You have to call more people to the site for cleanup, right? But that cost will not be covered under insurance. Production delays. If your production, if any accident happens, a person dies and your factory get closed for 3 days, there is production delay. Insurance is not going to give you money for your 3 days. They are not going to pay you for 3 days. Then again, production delays are not covered under insurance. Temporary labor. If you bring any temporary labor for small work or 2-3 days work, that is again not covered under insurance. Lost orders. Due to delays, if the client, he cancel your order, then what will, that is again is not covered under insurance. Investigation time and loss of expertise, okay, these all are not covered under insurance. Now insured cost. Again, we will go through it for more clarification. Until everyone is understanding? Any questions still now?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Omar, Mr. Alkamas, everyone is clear?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Omar?
Yes, very clear. Thank you.
Oh, good. It's gone. Okay. So insured cost, what insurance is going to cover? Claims, cost on employer and public liability insurance. Damage cost to buildings, equipment or vehicle. Maintenance cost of machinery and plant. Production loss cost. Absence cost of employees. Cumulative business loss. Okay. So these are insured cost and not insured costs are visible and can be easily calculated by insurance agencies. So if there is any damage, anything, insurance will automatically cover it. But uninsured cost, that is fines resulting from prosecutions. What is happening? So under uninsured, okay. So under uninsured cost, what will come? Your fines resulting from prosecution by enforcement authority, worker sick pay cost, repair cost to product equipment vehicles, staff replacement cost, increases in insurance premium, and compensation cost not covered by insurance policy, legal representation cost following any compensation claims. So these all costs are uninsured, which are not covered under insurance. Then loss of goodwill. If an organization lost its goodwill in the market, that is not covered under insurance, right? After that, recruitment cost, training cost, extra overtime payments, additional administration time incurred, employee morale. These all are costs which are not covered under insurance. Now, once again, let's start. Difference between, I don't know, I'm getting some problem here. Okay. So what is the difference between insured and uninsured cost? You will get a clear picture here. So insured costs are claim cost on employers and public liability insurance, damage cost to building equipment or vehicles, maintenance cost of machinery and plant, production loss cost, absence cost of employees, and cumulative business loss. These are insured costs. I mean, these are covered under insurance. And uninsured costs are fines resulting from prosecution by enforcement authority, worker sick pay cost, repair cost to product, equipment, vehicles, and staff replacement cost, increases in insurance premium cost resulting from the accidents, and compensation cost not covered by the insurance policy, legal representation cost following any compensation claim, loss of goodwill and poor corporate image, recruitment cost of replacement staff, training cost of replacement staff, extra overtime payments, and lost time of other employees such as first aid staff who help to injured person, and additional administration time incurred, and lower employee morale possibly leading to reduced productivity. So these are uninsured costs. So everyone is clear with insured and uninsured cost? Insured costs are those costs which are covered under insurance, and uninsured costs are those costs which are not covered under insurance. Don't know why I'm not getting full screen here. Okay, so what are the benefits, financial benefits for implementing health and safety in an organization? So if you implement health and safety in the organization, what are the financial benefits company going to get? Okay, so first benefit is high profitability. If you implement health and safety, of course, you will get good profitability. Why? Because if there is no accident, no costs are involved, so profit will be there, right? Production efficiency, no accidents, incidents, no near misses, no dangerous occurrences, your production will be good, efficient. Reputation of business, if there are no accidents, your reputation in the market, the reputation of the company will be good in the market, right? Insurance premium, if no accidents, your insurance cost will get reduced every year. Legal cost, there is no legal cost if no accidents, right? You don't have to pay compensation to any workers. No medical claims. There will be reduced absence of workers. There will be no sick leaves. And awarding tender bidding, you will get good awards, tenders, right, from clients. Okay, guys, so we have a practice question here, and we will study till here only today, because otherwise it will be very confused for you guys. Okay, so this is a group discussion. Okay, so I want everyone to participate. Okay, now there is a scenario. A serious accident has occurred to a worker. Here we go now. Okay, so a serious accident has occurred to a worker, and there will be costs to the organization as a result, right? So in your organization, there is a serious accident happened in your company. Okay, so what are the possible costs to an organization following an accident in a workplace? Or what are the possible costs to an organization resulting from inadequate health and safety standards? So I am giving you 5 minutes, and you have to send me your answer in chat box. Okay, you have to write your answer and you have to send me in chat box after 5 minutes. I'm giving you 5 minutes. This is your question. Type your answer and send me in chat box, and we will discuss your answer. Everyone clear? Question in front of you. A serious accident has occurred to a worker, and there will be cost to the organization as a result. So what are the possible costs to an organization following an accident in a workplace? Okay, I'm giving you 7 minutes for this answer. You have to send me in chat box. After 7 minutes, I will call you guys. So your time starts now. Okay, guys. So everyone has tried to answer, I have seen. See, when you are answering the question, maximum of you know that there are two type of costs involved, right? Direct cost and indirect cost. So you have to outline the direct costs also and indirect costs also. Okay, it's not simply direct cost or indirect cost. When question will come, you have to write both direct cost, what will be the direct cost involved in the accidents, and what will be the indirect costs involved in the accidents. Okay, so in this case, it's actually a serious accident has occurred to a worker, and there will be cost to the organization as a result, right? So he's asking what are the possible costs to an organization following an accident in a workplace. So when you have to write the answer, you can write that the possible cost to an organization following an accident in a workplace involve direct cost and indirect cost. After that, direct cost. For example, fines from enforcement authorities, loss of production, medical treatment cost, right? Like this you have to. Then indirect cost, losing workers morale, okay, low worker morale, poor reputation. Okay, so like this you have to outline both indirect cost also and direct costs also. Okay, so tomorrow we will start element 1.2, but before that I'm giving you a small homework. Okay, I'm going to give you a small homework for tomorrow. You just have to revise this first thing, whatever we have. Okay, everyone got their study material in your email?
No, I did not get it.
Okay, Abhishek, please check Mr. Al-Khamas. He didn't get his study material. Okay, make sure you send him tonight.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you will get your study material, revise it from book. You will get books, soft copy of books. So go through that also, study them. And second thing is that tomorrow, please, before coming to the class, before joining the class, please go through ILO. I'm sending you in the work here, okay, in the chat box. ILO codes and okay, ILO convention C155 and ILO recommendations R164. I will send you link in the group. Okay, tomorrow you have to go through ILO convention and recommendations. Okay, I will send you link. Just read it before you coming to the or joining the class tomorrow. Okay, see, these are very important. ILO C155 and ILO recommendation R164. So you have to go through employer responsibilities and employees responsibilities. Okay, I will share the link in WhatsApp group. Clear? Everyone clear? Okay, and any questions for today class? Please ask me any questions if you have.
Nothing from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohit. Anyone else? So that's it, guys. If you have any queries, any questions for today class, tomorrow we will take 5 minutes before joining the next session. Okay?
Tomorrow we
So
will
kindly
start at
share
5:30, right?
Yes, 5:30 we will start. Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Neil.
Yeah, can you sir share the video for that today recording video also or not?
We will upload and we will share it to you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Stay safe. Good night. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you very much.